Tyson Fury only trains for 5 weeks. Let's get into this one. Hello, welcome to Me Edson. I hope you're all well. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. So this week, Tyson Fury, the face-to-face with Usyk came out. And then he mentioned, Tyson Fury mentioned, said, well, why does anybody have to train more than 4 or 5 weeks, 5-6 weeks for a fight? Because we've been doing it so long, so I only train 5-6 weeks. I only did that for Ngannou. I'm only going to do this for Usyk. I don't need to do this for anything else, right? And then so people have sort of jumped on the bandwagon and said, well, actually, oh my God, he's only trained 4 or 5 weeks. This is why he's so poor. Well, actually, no, he's been doing this a lot for quite a few years now, training 5-6 weeks. And this is what he keeps on saying. Now, the question is, okay, first of all, I don't think it's a surprise that he's saying that. But the question is he actually doing that? Is he only training 5-6 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks? Or is he training for a lot longer than that? Now, in previous years, what we've seen Tyson Fury is that he's got himself into better shape now for fights. He had a lot of weight, then he actually trimmed down for a lot of the fights, especially when he was coming off his ban and his coke addiction thing, and then obviously his mental health issues as well. I think it was coke, wasn't it? I can't be really sure about that. But anyway, so he came off that, he ballooned up, and then he came back. So obviously you could see the transformation. Obviously he was in training to get back to fitness. But then he was saying, well, if he's maintaining that, or he's maintaining his fighting weight, let's say, then why does he need to train? So I can see from one point of view, and heavyweights are a different class, really, in the way they fight and the way they prepare, because they don't have to make a weight either. So it's an interesting thing. But he's saying he only trains for 5 weeks, whereas, Usyk is kind of looking at him going, you lying bastard, you're not training for 5 weeks, you're training a lot more. And I'm certainly not going to assume that you're only training for 5 weeks of this fight. I'm going to assume that you're training for a lot longer. The question is now that if he's only training for 5-6 weeks, if he's only going in, because he thinks, this is Fury, he thinks he only needs to go 70% because he thinks he's that good, then I think he's shortchanging himself and he's shortchanging the rest of the public. Because if he thinks 70% or 60%, 70% is good enough to beat anybody, well, what would he be like if he was like 80%, 90%, 100%? What would he be like? What kind of a fighter would Tyson Fury be if he was training for 12 weeks constantly on his game? I'm not saying he has to change his body shape or anything like that, but, just constantly on it. How would he have fought against Ngannou? If there's a rematch against Ngannou, how would he fight? If he ever does fight AJ, how would he fight? How would he prepare for those? But for him, in his mind, he's saying, no, they're all beneath me. And he's been on this kind of trip for a long time. Every other fighter is beneath me. I don't need to do this. So I'm just wondering whether he's lost the kind of motivation, the hunger to fight, and that motivation to want to train and train with any real threat and with fear as well. I just don't think he has it. I think he acknowledges the threat and he acknowledges that he's got a tough fight in his hands, but he seems to be quite blasé about, well, if he wins, he wins, I win, but it's interesting. But let us know your thoughts on this. Is he only training for 5 weeks? And we've heard some issues within his training camp, and some people have denied it, and some people have said no, it's actually true. And Jai Patai only doing 5 rounds, then buggering off, he's not interested. And other people have come out and say no, that didn't happen, and no, Tyson Fury wasn't dropped in sparring, and no, this happened. No, who knows what's happened. I'm not here to start making accusations about what's going on in his training camp. All I'm talking about the length of the training camp. 5 weeks, let's say, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it is. Is that enough? Is that enough to seriously train for an undisputed fight against Usyk? But in his mind, Fury's mind, he thinks everybody's beneath him. I'm not sure what to make of it. And I think, personally, he's shortchanging himself, first and foremost, but I think he's shortchanging everybody else as well. That's what I think he's doing. And I think, maybe the only time he will take this seriously and do a full 10-12 week camp really is if he gets beat. That's the only time he's gonna really take this seriously, if he gets beat. Now, obviously, there's some kind of rematch clause for Usyk as well. If he gets beat, it could be the best thing for Fury. I don't know. But if it's 5 weeks enough, I just don't think it is. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. And I will catch you again on another video coming very soon. Bye now.